Good morning, everybody. And we are starting the JOL Ornament of Liberation. And within that, now the introduction, so to say, antidote to not knowing the method of meditation practice for the enlightenment, Buddhahood. So it's in the Bodhicitta, that is the path which is the remedy for the ignorance, for the enlightenment, how to achieve Buddhahood. So in that, to study in that topic, there are 12 different foundation, essence, classification. So we did the foundation and essence, or the nature, the characteristic of what bodhicitta is. So the objective goal is to focus to achieve complete enlightenment, Buddhahood, for other sentient beings' benefit. And classification, there are 3 different simile, demarcation, and primary characteristics. And there's objective, that what is that. And a cause, there are 4 different types of cause to cultivate bodhicitta. And from whom you are received it, or from what kind of teacher, authentic teacher, there to receive the bodhisattva's vow or cultivate bodhicitta. And the method in that, now there are 2 different systems, the Shantideva system and Dharmakirti system. So right now we're starting the Shantideva system. So in the Shantideva system, there's a preparation, actual ceremony, and the conclusion. We're in the section of the preparation. So in the preparation, there's first take refuge and first do the frustration, that one, and that is special antidote for the arrogance. And then next is offerings. All the offerings there that one has physically, mentally, and then answer possible. So that is the offerings are the special remedy for the attachment, to release the attachment, stinginess, those things. And then we have purification. Purification is here so in detail and kind of empirically described why we need to purify all the obscurations or negative karmas that we have created, how we created, what's the disadvantage, and why we need to purify. It is a special remedy for to delete the ignorance, obscurations. And then we have concluded that. Now come to the rejoice, the third, rejoicing in virtues. So now, as I mentioned, so please just relax your mind. And when I read, you also meditate on this, like make offering yourself. As is mentioned there, rejoice, all the good deeds. No, it's just not to intellectualizing, well understanding, put into practice, so including your body, speech, mind. Make offer to not rejoice. No, what you are doing by yourself. Physically, you are being here, rejoice that. And all the deeds of the Buddhas, Bodhisattvas, that. So here we have, say, all the virtues that the meritorious means wholesome deeds. The act is based on the wisdom, not making mistake. That's what's called meritorious act beings. So meritorious beings accumulated the beings, meritorious action, I think, accumulated in the past, present, and future are the subject of meditation on rejoicing. See, meditation means practice. This is a special antidote, a remedy for jealous. Now look at the good qualities of the others and then rejoice instead of being jealous. Furthermore, meditate on the pleasantness of rejoicing. See, all the good things that happened in the past. See, whatever root virtues were established by the limitless, countless, inconceivable Buddhas that appeared in the 10 directions in the past. From that time, they first developed Bodhicitta. See, first they developed Bodhicitta, which is, you see, a rudimentary cause for enlightenment. Gathered two types of accumulation, the merit and wisdom, and purify the two types of obscurations, the obscurations of afflictive emotions and subtle obscurations which prevents to achieve complete enlightenment. Until they achieve complete enlightenment, this enlightenment, Buddhahood. So first rejoice, all the good deed they did went through to achieve complete enlightenment. Such as, I too want to achieve that. So, how to free from all the suffering and causes of suffering. Whatever root virtues were established from the turning of the wheel of the precious Dharma, after they attained enlightenment, in their turn means they gave teaching. Like our historical Buddha, he turned three types of Dharma teachings: first, middle, at the end. So through those teachings, fully matured all trainees, means all the practitioners who follow the path, until they passed into nirvana, until Buddha passed into nirvana. Whatever root virtues were established from the time they passed into parinirvana until Dharma teachings disappear, as long as the Dharma teachings maintain, it benefits the sentient beings. It gives wisdom. It gives opportunity to breathe the peace, wisdom, to rejoice all these things. Whatever root virtues were established in between manifestation of all the Bodhisattvas, then after Buddha passed away, the many Bodhisattvas came, and in each of those Bodhisattvas benefited sentient beings. They themselves also study, practice Dharma. Whatever root virtues were established by all the noble solitary realizer that ever appeared, Whatever root virtues were established by all the noble heroes, the arahats that ever appeared, so their purification, their realization, and their benefit as sentient beings, rejoice all this. Whatever root virtues were established by the ordinary beings, the ordinary practitioners, teachers, who taught teachings and practiced Dharma, they also gathered great virtue, avoided cause of suffering, rejoice on all this. All this which have been accumulated, meditate on rejoicing in all of them. In the same way, rejoice in the virtues of the present Buddha, Bodhisattvas, Arahats, Pratyek Buddhas, and the future Buddhas. So that's how to rejoice. Even one who repeats one mantra, rejoice. Even one who does one prostration, rejoice. Means feel happy. Be with that. It's called rejoicing. It's how to bring happiness in your mind. It's how to bring peace in your mind. Which supports your practice. Just meditate. Engaging in the conduct of Bodhisattvas says, Bodhicitta Avatara, Shantideva says, I rejoice in the awakening of the Buddhas, the enlightenment of Buddha, and also in the spiritual level of Bodhisattvas and so forth. Anyway, Buddhas, Bodhisattvas, I rejoice all the activities. And as mentioned, you rejoice yourself. I'm so fortunate I got this opportunity. How to create peace within my mind and develop good cause for future peace and happiness. So this concludes the meditation of rejoicing. Now, fourth, requesting that the wheel of Dharma to be turned. This is antidote or remedy for all the mental obscurations. There are many Buddhas in all the 10 directions who are not giving teachings. Not because out of laziness or out of delusions, but say for the accumulation of the merit in the person who supplicates. When you supplicate, ask, request to give us teachings for the people, it creates such a great merit. Because the Dharma teaching is the one of the principal Buddha's activities to dispel the confusion, the cause of suffering, the cause of samsara. See, a person who supplicate them, focusing on this, focusing on these Buddhas that who are not giving Dharma teachings. Just meditate your mind to all those Buddhas. There are countless Buddhas in the 10 directions. One should supplicate and ask for the teachings. Please give us Dharma teaching, the light of the wisdom, which dispels the darkness of the mind. It is said, it is Bodhicitta Avatara, with folded hands, I beseech the Buddhas of all directions to shine the lamp of Dharma for all who are bewildered in misery glooms, who are bewildered in the confusion, desperate to have peace and happiness, but they don't have method. They have no wisdom. No one tells them this is the right path to do, except take advantage those innocent sentient beings. So out of great compassion, out of great wisdom, supplicate all the Buddhas. So please give us these precious Dharma teachings. So that's the requesting Dharma teachings. Now, sixth one, beseeching not to take parinirvana, not to pass away. There are many Buddhas in all the 10 directions who are preparing to take parinirvana, means to pass away, in order to cause beings' minds to renounce the view of permanence and to develop perseverance in these who are lazy. This, when we don't contemplate on impermanence, was something like a permanent. Sometimes we know we'll die, but we're not prepared to die today or tomorrow. We plan to live for 1,000 years. I will do this, then after this I will do this, after this I will do this. So much plan. No. So in that state, we lost the opportunity to study, practice Dharma teachings. We lost to focus to our own mind. Because the mind is so ambiguous, abstract subject, which we don't see, we don't hear, cannot touch. Without knowing that mind is the principal center of the life for peace and happiness and for suffering. So we kind of lost touch with that. We're scattered outside, bewildered in the darkness. No? Without acknowledging the precious life that we have, without acknowledging the opportunity we have. So to show this, say, Buddha passed away, they see it awakes. Certainly. Even Buddha passes, the enlightened one. Why not me? I must follow, practice Dharma. No? So see, focusing on these Buddhas now meditates, we beseech them not to take parinirvana. So to stay with us, to benefit all sentient beings. Engaging in the contact of the Bodhisattva says, with folded hands I beseech the conquerors, means the Buddha, who wish to pass away, to please remain for countless eons and not to leave the world in darkness. So this is the conclusion of the explanation of requesting Dharma teachings and beseeching not to pass into nirvana. Now this is sixth is the dedication. So this the beseeching not to take parinirvana is the fifth. Dedication of root of virtue. Now, dedication. Dedicate all the virtues that were created in the past to dispel the suffering of sentient beings and cause the establishment of their happiness. So, dedicate means that we practice Dharma, purify our cause of suffering, negative karma, afflictive emotions, and develop the cause of peace and happiness, wisdom, compassion, so forth. That we have created, we gather through our perseverance, interest. So that now dedication is instead of attached to that, I myself, have peace and happiness. I myself free from suffering. This dedication is dedicated to all the sentient beings. I share this to all sentient beings. So it's also a practice of generosity, an antidote of attachment, antidote of miserliness. Share to all. And you have kind of way to bring freedom and bring peace and happiness. See? So that in the Shantideva says, thus by the virtue collected through all that I have done, as we have a great dedication prayer, that virtue collected in the past, in the future, the present, by oneself, by all Buddhas, Bodhisattvas, sentient beings, that all have done, may the pain of every living creature, every sentient beings, be completely cleared away. Means all the pain they have cleared away, free from the pain, suffering, and achieve complete enlightenment. So dedicate that. These are the preparation, but also principal practice. This here preparation means we have to have all those good causes, condition to cultivate bodhicitta. As earlier mentioned at the precept session, to invite, like a president or king of a country, your place has to be very clean, decorated, well arranged, all things. Then you can invite that. Likewise, to invite the king or the president of bodhicitta in your heart. The mind should be decorated by these virtues. Make your mind calm, clear. Thus dedicate. This explains the preparation for bodhicitta. Now comes this actual to the actual ceremony of cultivating bodhicitta. See, expressing the commitment means expressing commitment or to take the vow or cultivate bodhicitta. So is explained in the collection of transcendent instructions. When Ayya Manjushri was born as a king Amba, this countless eons ago, he went to the Buddha Meghanada Ghosha and obtained the instruction on the development of aspiration, bodhicitta, and took the bodhisattva's vow at the same time. So Manjushri, when he cultivated bodhicitta, he went to this Buddha, Meghanada Ghosha, requested to perform the Bodhisattva's vow ceremony. So at that time, he first cultivated Aspiration Bodhicitta, and then took the Bodhisattva's vow. This means taking the action Bodhicitta. That's called Bodhisattva's vow here, means the action Bodhicitta. He did this at the same time, in front of that Buddha. Likewise, we also should take them together. It is said, from the beginning to the end, from the beginning of the world to the end of the world, of the beginningless, beginning is the beginningless, end is endless, samsara. In order to perform limitless activities for the benefit of sentient beings. Now, cultivating such a great, indomitable courage, see. Such a powerful mind. In front of Lord means in front of the Buddha, all the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, in front of Lord of the world. I cultivate bodhicitta, means first I cultivate aspiration bodhicitta. Then I take bodhisattva's vow, means I cultivate action bodhicitta at the same time, and so forth. So repeat this 3 times. Through that you cultivate aspiration bodhicitta and action bodhicitta. Or one can, usually we do this, or one can receive bodhicitta instruction by reciting the brief words from engaging in the contact of bodhisattva. That's a little different translation, but the same as we are saying the prayer every time. Just as the previous sugatas. Sugata means well gone, means skull, well gone, beautifully gone, perfectly gone, non-returning gone. It's called sugata. Well gone means purifying all obscurations and accumulating all the excellent qualities, because well gone. Beautifully gone means cultivating compassion and being a source of peace and happiness to all sentient beings. Beautiful. Ornamented all the excellent qualities is beautiful. Perfectly gone means perfecting purification and perfecting all the excellent qualities. And non-returning gone means once you become Buddha, you never return in the delusion. So it is Sugata, that's what it means, Just as the previous Sugatas, means all the Buddhas is a synonym. Give birth to an awakening mind. First, they were not Buddha. Develop bodhicitta. Impress the bodhicitta. Give birth, the bodhicitta. And just as they successfully dwelt, then they progress on the path, in the 5 paths, step by step, and achieve complete Buddhahood, and benefited countless sentient beings. Become a source of peace and happiness. Says, dwelled in the Bodhisattva's practices, like say 3 training, the training of morality, the training of meditative equipoise, the training of wisdom, special insight. These 3 encompasses all the path. So through this training, we follow the path towards enlightenment. Likewise, today now, for the sake of all that live, everyone, all sentient beings who are living in the world, who desire to free from suffering, who desire to have peace and happiness, to all this, I give birth to an awakening mind. I also cultivate this mind of enlightenment, as all Buddhas did in the past. And likewise shall I too successively follow the practices, then into the 5 paths, like I practice the 6 paramitas, practice of the generosity, moral conduct, patience, forbearance, perseverance, meditative equipoise, wisdom awareness, step by step. Through this, we get all opportunity to purify all our mental obscurations, defilements, and develop all the excellent qualities. One day we'll become Buddha. So this is how to cultivate bodhicitta. Here it has both aspiration bodhicitta and action bodhicitta. First is do I give birth to an awakening mind, means aspiration bodhicitta. Okay. And then successively follow the practice. I show that means action bodhicitta. So we do two together. No? Repeat this 3 times with spiritual masters in the front or without. Repeat this and cultivate the mind. If one wishes to cultivate bodhicitta and take the vows, so cultivate bodhicitta means here aspiration bodhicitta. And take the vows means action bodhicitta. Okay, so this you do separate this. Separate this, Then recite the words separately and receive it. If you want to take both, then you say together. If you want to take one at a time, so first I take aspiration bodhicitta or cultivate. Then you repeat that word. Then after that, I will cultivate or take the Bodhisattva's vow, the action bodhicitta. Repeat that. So this complete the actual Bodhisattva's vow ceremony. It's very simple here. But as you see, all the preparation we went through is so precious. It gives us such a clear picture. The conclusion, make offering in appreciation for the triple gem and meditate on vast joy and happiness about the great accomplishment that has been achieved. See, now when you see, when the teachings, become so available, then we don't appreciate so much. We take it as a granted. No. But if we know the teachings, but it's a little rare, then you see how precious it is. Because, as I mentioned, this is not just a religion. This is a comprehensive, a complete method how to free from all the suffering and reveal the complete method to bring the peace and happiness. This is called vast joy, infinite joy. If you know how to appreciate, this is the real source to bring happiness, joy. Because in the world, as you see, our joy, happiness, totally depend on the sensory object, isn't it? It's outside. What to see, what to hear, smell, taste, touch. It is so temporary. And sometimes not just only it's temporary, it just itself becomes a cause of suffering. No, but here within you develop full, complete joy. No, because bodhicitta means pure, clear. So bodhicitta is the mental state, the absence of delusion. No. The mind of enlightenment means it's the mental state, it's absence of the delusion. That's the source of all the peace and happiness. So we cultivate bodhicitta for all sentient beings means this gives us a maximum method to capture the limitless nature of the mind. That's why it is, Our mind is limitless. So to capture that limitlessness of the mind, then sentient beings are required as an object to cultivate compassion, love. Make sense? So that's why it's so important. So all the steps are so important, required. That's what I mean. The writer of this book wrote from his enlightened mind. No. See? That's why he said, then you make offering is appreciation. Joyfully you just make offering. For the bodhicitta, if you take risk of life, you just, there's no regret. You enjoy. Awesome. To attempt and meditate on vast joy and happiness about the great accomplishment that has been achieved. That's what's called precious human life. See how much precious human life have the ability and opportunity. So you appreciate more. Now when you see these benefits, then you dare not waste time for anything else, for samsaric achievements. Whole your being will pull into the dimension to exercise bodhicitta, to develop bodhicitta. No. It is said, a person with a discriminating wisdom holds bodhicitta with a great clear mind, you see, who has wisdom, decisive wisdom, who has a discernment, a prudent mind. That mind can capture the bodhicitta, give birth to bodhicitta, cultivate the bodhicitta, hold bodhicitta with a great clear mind. In order to further this, to develop further, make stronger, he hold joyfully, uplift his mind this way and so forth. See? This is the optimal kind of project or things that we can do. Bring in the heart. See? Thus, the tradition of Shantideva has been explained through the preparation, actual ceremony, and conclusion. Now next, Dharmakirti. The tradition of Dharmakirti, as I mentioned yesterday, this is not the logician Dharmakirti. This is Dharmakirti, is the who holds the Bodhisattva's teaching, or Bodhisattva's vow, of Ajarya Asanga school, which was founded by Arya Maitreya, which connect to the Buddha, has two topics: cultivation, cultivating aspiration, bodhicitta, holding the vow of action, bodhicitta. The former contains three topics. The cultivating aspiration, bodhicitta has three topics: the preparation, actual ceremony, and conclusion. Cultivation of aspiration, bodhicitta, is a first preparation. The preparation also has three subdivisions. First, supplication. Second, gathering accumulation. And special refuge. Now first, the supplication. The disciple who is interested to cultivate bodhicitta, who wish to cultivate bodhicitta, proceeds toward a qualified spiritual master, and then does frustration. The spiritual master gives instruction, and through his instruction causes the disciple to renounce samsara, as earlier we did, impermanence, suffering of samsara, so forth. And then develop great compassion toward all sentient beings. Create the desire to attain Buddhahood. Then you say inspired. This means inspired to achieve Buddhahood. And then develop confidence in the three JOL. The confidence, faith to Buddha, Dharma, Sangha. And develops devotion for the masters. Then from whom you are taking the Bodhisattva's vow, you develop great devotion. After that, the disciple repeats after that, the disciple repeats after the master this way: please hear me, the disciple's request. Please hear my request. Perfect Buddha and Bodhisattvas who reside in the high level, those first cultivated the mind of unsurpassed, perfect enlightenment, means bodhicitta. As they did say, likewise my names are such. Request you, the master, to allow me to cultivate the enlightened attitude, to cultivate bodhicitta of the unsurpassed perfect enlightenment. So repeat this 3 times. After that, the second one, gathering the accumulations. First, prostrate to the master and the triple gem. Then make offerings, whatever you can. Actually, it means physically, whatever you can. Because you see the preciousness of the bodhicitta. And you are yearning to cultivate that. Yearning to get it. Say, I want to get it any time. Gather. So whatever you can actually gather. Or if you don't have physically, visualize in the mind all the offerings that exist in the world. So now we are saying why we need virtue, accumulations to cultivate bodhicitta. He's saying now, Shira Manera vows means novice monk. The novice monks or nun receive their vow from Upadaya, Kempo, and Acharya, Loben. If they have Khenpo and Loben too, then this Khenpo not just a title Khenpo, who has there's just special qualities that needed. It's not just title, it's Khenpo, Here Khenpo, so it's a Sanskrit here, Ubadaya, who holds the necessary qualities. And Acharya Loben. So those Sharamanira, they receive their vows from Khenpo and Loben. And Bhikkhu or Bhikkhunis, their vows are obtained from the Sangha, means like above 5, full ordained. 10 is good, more is better, but at least 5, So say, when there's a 5, it's called Sangha, assembly. So the full vows, full ordinations you receive from the assembly, Sangha, not some individual. So that's it. But the 2 types of bodhicittas, the aspiration bodhicitta and action bodhicittas, are obtained through the accumulation of merit. See, more you create merit, greater chance to have it. More you create merit, greater chance to develop it. There's a bodhisattvas, they go to places, they make offerings, they do prostration, they do all virtuous deeds to develop bodhicitta, And they say many prayers in the mind, Merit. So therefore, if one has wealth, it is not sufficient to offer just a little. So from you have a kind of vast of wealth. From there, just bring little bit. Say, this offer is not sufficient. One needs to make a great offerings. One should make offerings as much as one can. In previous times, wealthy bodhisattvas made great offerings. They offered 10 million temples, in the past. And then cultivated bodhicitta. The Fortunate Aeon Sutra mentions and describes this. During the regency of King Zamling, is the name of the king, at that time, the Sugata Tangzin, after having offered 10 million temples to the Tathagata Buddha, Davetok, name of Buddha. So the Sugata Tangzin made 10 million temples offering to Buddha Davetok. With that, said developed bodhicitta for the first time. So that kind of history is there. It's not because you're forced to do it. You do it joyfully. That's the important thing, you see. It's not somebody force you to do it. If one has little wealth, then because this will give you, I don't have wealth, how I can cultivate bodhicitta? For example, 10 million temples. If we cannot make one temple, how I can do 10 million temples? So, not possible, In such case, he said, if one has little wealth, it is sufficient to make a small offering. In the previous time, bodhisattvas who had little wealth made small offerings by offering a lamp, made of one blade of grass. That's also, means a blade of grass dipped in the oil and then made offering. Grass, they cultivated bodhicitta. It is said, during the regency of Sugata Rongki Tempa, the Tathagata Thaya Hu, after having offered a lamp made of grass, made of a single blade of grass, developed bodhicitta for the first time. Again, if one has no wealth, even not a blade of grass, there's no need to feel sad. So now I have no chance, so no need to feel that. Over the lack of means, it would be sufficient to do 3 prostration. Just do 3 prostration, sincerely, joyfully. In previous time, Bodhisattvas did 3 prostrations and developed bodhicitta. It is said in the same sutra, the Tathagata Yongden Tengden. After having done 3 prostrations before the Tathagata Jiden developed bodhicitta for the first time. So that kind of opportunity is there. This is chair, if you like. So these are a way to making offerings. Whatever you make offering of, just joyfully to cultivate bodhicitta. Then after that said, we need to take special refuge. So this is same as was explained before in the chapter 8 at the refuge section. There are many different types of refuge. The Theravada, Hinayana type of taking refuge, Mayana, so special refuge means we have taken Mayana way of taking refuge. I take refuge in the Buddha Dharma Sangha to achieve complete Buddhahood for the benefit of all sentient beings. That's called special refuge. So these are the preparation. Now actual Bodhisattva ceremony. The first is the Aspiration Bodhicitta. Actual ceremony, the master gives instruction to the disciple in this way. So now, this also we contemplate now. Just contemplate when I read this. Wherever space prevails, there are sentient beings. Means space is limitless. Likewise, sentient beings are countless. See that. Wherever there are sentient beings, they are pervaded by the afflicting emotions, means delusion. All the mind of the sentient beings in the samsara are deluded by the afflictive emotions. Wherever there are afflicting emotions, negative karma prevails, then there's negative karma, cause of suffering. So meditate this, see, is true or not? No. So it's just belief or it's reality? Look at this. No. Afflictive emotion means ignorance, attachment, anger, pride, jealousy, reckless greed, so forth. No. So they create, these are the direct cause of suffering. So they create the karma, the cause of suffering. That's called karma, Karma pervades. Wherever there are evil deeds, means negative karma, suffering pervades. These sentient beings who are suffering were all our parents. Now look at this, all our parents. not just this lifetime, life from beginningless time until now, our parents. And these parents were very kind to us as we studied intersection of the loving kindness. Thus, your kind parents are sinking in the ocean of samsara, tortured by innumerable suffering, means infinite suffering. In other words, endless. There is no one to protect them. There is so much suffering that they are exhausted, overpowered by the delusions. So meditate, see that nature. So meditate on how wonderful it would be if they met the peace and the face of happiness. If they met the face of happiness and bring peace in the mind, how it's wonderful. Just meditate. How wonderful if they were free of this suffering. Just meditate on this. Contemplate this meditation. So contemplate this meditation on loving kindness and compassion for a moment. Just meditate on this. Just see how wonderful it is if there's no problem. How wonderful if there's no problem in your neighborhood. If everyone is happy, peaceful, just how wonderful. There are so many who are desperate but have no way to get out of this. Look at nowadays, in the news you hear like drugs, so many people are killed in the drugs in that state, you see. And it's very clear that, everyone knows it's a risk of their life, risk of their wealth. But still they go through. They are not taught in the mind how to think, how to see yourself. And they killed so many. This is just example, So see this, meditate. Cultivate love, compassion. Just how to build, just knowing there is wisdom and building the love and compassion is the strength of the mind. So that says, so meditate for a moment, Furthermore, contemplate at this time. At this time, I have no ability to benefit all these beings who are suffering, who are my mother, kind mother. I have no ability to help them. What should I do, These beings. Therefore, in order to benefit all these beings, mother sentient beings, I should attain the stage of one who is called the complete Buddha. Complete Buddha means the perfect Buddha. The one who has fully exhausted all the faults, means all the mistakes, all the confusion, all the misperception, the delusions are completely exhausted. purified, and perfected all the qualities, means to give benefit to others. That's a quality. No? Qualities. No? Perfect all the qualities. Has all, who has fully, has all the ability to help, to benefit sentient beings. Bring this in the mind, not bring this in the mind. What wonderful if I have all these excellent qualities to help sentient beings. What wonderful if my mind is free from all the delusions, so that I have all the peace and happiness. Then I have the resource to give all other sentient beings. Just meditate in your mind, here now. So bring this in the mind. After that, then say, repeat after the spiritual master. So please hear me, all the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas of 10 directions. It's right. Please hear me here, all the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas of the 10 directions. Please hear me, master. Oh, please hear me, I think it's a master. My name, that time you say your names are such, but root virtues that we have accumulated through different ways. The root virtues I accumulated in other lifetimes, these lifetimes, through the practice of generosity, 1, say moral ethics, 2, and meditative practice or meditation practice. These are the 3 basic doors to accumulate the merit and wisdom through the practice of generosity, keeping the moral ethics, and practice the meditation. So how well organized, you see, how to do those practices. Whether I did them myself, so these are whether I did by myself, or I ask others to do them, or I rejoice in others' good deeds. It's all way of gathering the accumulation of the virtue or merits. By all these virtues, as the Buddhas, the previous, it is right, the Buddhas, the previous years, thus gone one. As the Buddhas, previous, thus gone one, means it's another synonym for Buddha, thus gone one. 4 destroyer means the 4 afflictive emotions, delusions, the whole destroyed. It's called 4 destroyer. Fully perfected, enlightened ones, exalted ones, and the great, said the Buddha, this is Buddha. In Tibetan, that, no, so the translation is this one. In Sanskrit, Namataswa, Bhagavato, Arahato, Samya Sambuddha. This is Sanskrit. This is English, okay, here. This is Buddha, the previous thus gone ones, 4 destroyer, fully perfected, enlightened ones, exalted ones, and the great, and then Bodhisattva, great Buddhist sattvas, Mahasattvas, who reside in the high levels, means like above 8 bhumi levels. First, cultivated the mind of the unsurpassed. First they have cultivated the mind, bodhicitta, and then the perfect enlightenment. Likewise, as they did, I, my name, from now on until I achieve perfect unsurpassed enlightenment, the Buddhahood, will cultivate the mind of unsurpassed perfect enlightenment for here's the word for the deliverance to liberate deliverance of all those sentient beings who have not crossed. 1. To release those who are not released. 2. To help those who have not found the breath to expel. 3. And to help those who have not achieved the full nirvana. 4. Nirvana to achieve it. Thus repeat 3 times this ceremony. Now he is explaining what those means. Beings who have not crossed, what that means? Means the sentient beings who inhabit, who resides in the hell realms, hungry ghosts and animals, those are called who are not crossed. Not crossed in that state of suffering. Those in the lower realms who have not crossed the ocean of suffering. Deliverance means to liberate them from the suffering of the lower realms and establish them in the higher realms of gods and human beings, human realm. So those beings, the lower realms, to establish in the higher realms. So by cultivating bodhicitta, this is what I will do. Those who are not released means the beings in the human and god realms who are not released from the bondage of iron fetter like afflictive emotions. Means that we in the human realm have not free from all the afflictive emotions. Release means establish them in the definite goodness. So from the human and God realm, to free from samsara. When it's free from samsara, it's called definite goodness. By releasing them from the afflictive emotions and achieve the state of liberation, say free from samsara, that's called release. Those who not found the breath means those hearers, now they who are free from samsara, but they are sharavaka, hearers, and solitary realizer, the Partik Buddha, who have not found the breath of the Mayana, who have not found the breath of the Bodhicitta, Mayana. No? To expel the breath means those who have those who have been expelled their breath in the view of the true selflessnesses or the view of the emptiness. And the behavior of the Mayana vehicle means the conduct, the practice of the Mayana vehicle by cultivating the mind in the supreme enlightenment to achieve enlightenment, Buddhahood, supreme enlightenment, and maintaining the state of the 10 bhumis, from first bhumi to the 10th bhumi. So that's what it means. There's a breath, to have the breath of the bodhicitta. Those who have not achieved the full nirvana means those bodhisattva who are in the 10 bhumi bodhisattva, who have not attained the non-abiding nirvana, means neither samsara nor nirvana. This nirvana is partial nirvana. So non-abiding nirvana means the complete nirvana. To achieve the full nirvana, see, that's Buddhahood, means that these bodhisattvas proceed through all the paths and bhumis and then achieve the full nirvana Buddhahood, which means they attain Buddhahood. So this all, when you cultivate bodhicitta, step by step, say these prayers and meditate. As mentioned here, we have four deliverance like this, no? So what means the four here? See, what means four? Means making commitment or taking vow to achieve enlightenment, Buddhahood, in order to accomplish all the necessary actions. Means to benefit all sentient beings. So this is the conclusion of the this is the taking the aspiration bodhicitta. Then the conclusion, having achieved such a great benefit, one should have great joy and should meditate on great happiness as before. Also, one should receive explanation of all the training. Now, what I should do after receive the aspiration bodhicittas. Thus, one who have cultivated this mind, means aspiration bodhicitta, is called a bodhisattva. Now, this is how you designate bodhisattva, which means having the desire to achieve enlightenment, Buddhahood, in order to benefit all sentient beings. All sentient beings. And having the desire to liberate all sentient beings after achieve enlightenment. Focusing the mind on the enlightenment and sentient beings. See, there's two, the objects, see, the Buddha and the Buddhahood and the sentient beings. Those are two objects. Okay. And for this purpose, possessing a great warrior mind and indomitable courage, see? Now this word we call Buddha's teaching, Dharma. What we are studying now, real bringing the complete path how to achieve enlightenment. Now next, the action bodhicitta. See, through thus complete ceremony for cultivating aspiration bodhicitta.